Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and power on the Dell 27 monitor SE2719HR. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a Dell 27-inch IPS monitor, the SE2719HR. So the box is slightly misshapen from a bit of damage. And continuing on towards the back of the box, with some specifications and details on the left hand side. Okay, now let's go ahead and open it up by, of course, laying it flat down on the tabletop. And let me just angle the camcorder down, and let's cut apart the sticky tape that's keeping the box securely sealed up. So that's the box flap open. Now you can take a look directly inside the box. Let's lift the contents out. So there are a pack of papers. So I'm just gonna take that out, along with a HDMI cable, a power cable, and what appears to be the base for the stand. And the contents have been opened, as this was a customer returns, but nonetheless, this is the riser for the stand. And let's lift that insert out and continue with the rest of the unboxing by lifting out the 27-inch monitor right here and just making sure there's nothing left in the packaging. Okay, so I should set the monitor down and assemble it, and then that way it's a lot tidier for me to show you what this whole monitor is about. So right there, just giving you a look at the back for now very quickly and setting that down. So it does come with, of course, the papers, so just going to give you a look at those papers as well, but not before first assembling the stand so that I can get everything out of the way. So slightly different because I tend to have a look at the papers first. Okay, so we have the riser and of course the base that forms the stand. So it is a quite simple stand in terms of the design and footprint, keeping everything minimal. So just showing you the stand right there. So it seems pretty straightforward, but of course always refer to the instructions before attempting to operate or of course use any of such electronic devices. So right there, very simple, pushing those two pins, and of course we need to make sure that the stand is securely locked. So it does appear to have a simple thumb screw locking mechanism there. So righty tighty, lefty loosey, so turning right does lock the stand in place. So very nice to see that it does have a pretty toolless assembly, but you can of course use a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver right there, should you wish to give it a nice and secure lock there. But nonetheless, this thumb screw does do the job very nicely. And right there, just making sure that I do really have a nice tight fit right there. And then of course, flipping that thumb latch down and just giving you a look right there in terms of the assembled base or stand for the Dell 27 monitor SE2719HR. So that's the assembly right there. So you can see that the riser does angle forward, and that is the bracket that will go into the back and underside of the monitor itself, the display or screen itself. So let's do that, as you can see right here. So I'm just going to give you that look now before I clip it in. So right there. So a bit of strength required to maintain this position, giving you a look at all the details around the back of this SE2719HR monitor and the connections as well, the ports. So we do have, of course, the power plug port, and of course the HDMI and VGA cable ports right there, or connectors. Okay, so right there, good exercise for me, good core training, keeping this monitor nice and stable and floating in front of the screen. So now I'm going to set it down, catch my breath, and of course plug the base right into that socket there, and let's see if there we go. You can hear that click there to make sure that it is secured. And now, of course, always being careful holding the screen while lifting and setting it up right, just in case. Don't just hold it just in case it wasn't securely locked, but there, safety first. And I'm just checking the box to make sure that there's no other components left behind in the box packaging. So it appears to be nice and emptied right there. So just going to close it all back up as best I can, or maybe not, and setting the box to the side. Okay, so now we have the Dell 27 monitor SE2719HR assembled right there with its base, stand riser, and of course the screen, all assembled just with very minimalist or minimal effort. And now next thing to do is, of course, to give you a look at the accessories before I turn it on and show you the other bits. Okay, just trying to get some kind of rhythm here to show you what's what. So putting that plastic packet aside, and I'm just going to now tilt the camcorder back up to give you a full view of the fully assembled Dell SE2719HR monitor right there. So hopefully nice good view of this 27-inch IPS monitor with 178 degree viewing angle and 1000:1 contrast ratio, and it does have a 4 and 8 millisecond response time, so pretty decent for an all-round IPS monitor. Okay, so it also does have a tilt. It does tilt back 21 degrees and forward 5 degrees. So I'm just going to show you on the side view so you can see the adjustability in terms of the tilt. And you can see just how small that stand is. So Dell has gone through efforts to minimize the real estate consumption or footprint of the stand itself. So, and just there showing you the angles, so 5 degree forward and up to 21 degree backwards, and of course that 178 degree viewing angle with this IPS monitor does come in very handy, maintaining a very good display quality from all angles up to 180 degrees right there. Okay, so next thing to do is to show you the papers, of course. So I'm just going to set out the documentation that's come with the Dell monitor, and we'll just take a quick look at them. So all these are the components that have come with this Dell SE2719HR monitor. Not sure how well you can see. Gonna have to tilt the camcorder slightly down and just making some minor adjustments to the side as well. Okay, so right there I've had a nice good look and just giving you a quick look at the papers that have come with it. So there is a warranty and service information booklet right there, just showing you the thickness of it, and of course some general information about, of course, warranty and the service of this 27-inch IPS LCD LED backlit monitor. Okay, so that's that, and of course moving on to the next item. So I'm just going to show you, this might be the, once again, warranty and service information in what appears to be Russian. Okay, just setting that down, and there is a safety and regulatory information booklet right there, containing some safety, of course, information once again, and so on and so forth. And of course we do have a setup guide as well in this packet right here on how to assemble your Dell SE2719HR monitor, which we've done already. So I did have a quick look beforehand on the online documentation, just to minimize any time spent making this video. As you know, I don't normally do jump cuts, just straight through from start to finish. So right there is the setup or assembly information for the Dell SE2719HR, as well as the Dell SE2419HR. And of course, in this packet is HDMI cable. So let's open it up. And of course, recycle your plastic bag. So right here is the HDMI cable. Let me say that again, HDMI, getting a bit tongue twisted today. So right there, the HDMI cable. Okay, so double-ended, of course, on both sides with the HDMI connector. So the monitor does have a HDMI port, as well as the more old school legacy VGA port as well, but this is the HDMI connector, and the monitor does support up to 75 Hz of refresh. So refresh rate of 75 Hz or 60 Hz on VGA. Okay, so that's the HDMI cable right there in my hand. And of course, the cable length is always good to know. What the cable length of this HDMI cable is. So just doing the cable tie, undoing the other cable tie. And right there, once I can unwind this cable, giving you some idea as to the cable length of this HDMI cable. Okay, so, and giving you a close-up look at the two connector ends of this HDMI cable right there and right there, should you be curious or need to get a better idea of this cable. It's right there, and of course we do have the British or UK 3-pin plug to power the monitor itself. Okay, so there we go. Good look all around at all the accessories that come with this Dell 27 monitor SE2719HR. So, with all the accessories and papers being seen, we now can take one more look, and this time around in a bit more detail. Of course, I'm going to struggle right here trying to show you this monitor because there is some weight and of course bulkiness to it, not my typical unboxing. And it's going to be once again a test of my fitness. So right there, giving you a look as to the overall dimensions and size of this IPS monitor with a full HD 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution. Right there is the back, giving you a nice good look all round of this Dell 27 monitor. And right there as well, so hopefully you can see the various aspects of this monitor in good detail right now in this video. So once again, 21 degrees back, 5 degrees forward is the tilt range of this IPS monitor. Okay, so only one thing left to do now, of course. Actually, there's one thing we might have missed, is there should be some controls right there, if you can see, on the underside, on the right hand side of the monitor. So some buttons right there to turn on and of course make adjustments via the on-screen controls or display. So okay, so monitor back down. Let's start plugging the cables in and turn it on and see what it's like. So just a simple power on. So first, making sure the power cable goes in. So in goes the power cable and plugging the power cable into a plug socket. And of course the next thing to do is connect the HDMI cable. And over here I do have an Acer Swift 3 ultra thin laptop, which I've unboxed on the channel before, so you can always look that up. And just going to set it down and plug the HDMI end of this cable. Well, they're both HDMI ends into the side HDMI connector port. So right there into the laptop, and the other end into the monitor, of course. So finding out and looking for that monitor HDMI port right there. So might struggle a bit, so I'm just going to set it down very gently, of course, and then plugging the HDMI end so right there, are the cables all plugged in, power cable and HDMI, into the back of the monitor. So just going to turn the monitor back around. And actually, I should connect the power plug on this extension plug instead, just to keep the cables looking a little bit tidier that way. And right there, monitor is now fully plugged in and assembled. We can of course turn it on, but not before first turning on the power switch, and just turned it off right there, and just turning the monitor on right there, as you can see, powering on and showing different options right there. Of course, let's select English and scanning for a signal right now. And now the only thing left to do now is to turn on, of course, this Acer Swift 3 ultra thin laptop and ensure that I have the external display selected. So right there, automatically you can see that both screens are displaying the same image, so mirroring automatically on both screens. And this Acer Swift 3 laptop also does have an IPS monitor, so both screens you're looking at right now are IPS screens. Okay, so just going to move the Acer Swift 3 laptop slightly on the right hand side of the screen so it doesn't block the view of the Dell SE2719HR, which is what the main focus of this video is about. So right there, giving you a look at nice crisp IPS display with 1000:1 contrast ratio. So full HD 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. And let's wake the laptop back up. So right there, as you can see, and let's go in. And there we go. Looking on the desktop of Windows 10 of the Acer Swift 3 ultra thin laptop on the Dell SE2719HR monitor. And I'm just going to angle the monitor, just tilt, just to give you some idea of the tilt range and of course the viewing quality and angle as well. So right there, once again, 5 degrees forward, so it's on the maximum forward tilt, and the maximum tilt backwards, 21 degrees right there. So nice crisp view of both screens. Nice and bright. With excellent viewing angles at 178 degrees. So that's the Dell 27 monitor SE2719HR. Thanks for watching and happy viewing.